I'd like to discuss the absolute worst ice cream you can eat and the best ice cream that you can eat. And yes, there are certain ice creams that are healthy, and I'm going to share a great recipe with you at the end of this video. I think I would be an expert in ice cream since I used to eat a lot of ice cream. I remember for 1 year, I ate 1 pint of Ben & Jerry's ice cream every single night to be able to sleep because I had insomnia really bad. And I noticed when I consumed Ben & Jerry's, it put me to sleep. Little did I know that was called a sugar coma. So let's start out with the worst case scenario type ice cream, Ben & Jerry's. So if you look at the ingredients for Ben & Jerry's, it has cream, it has liquid sugar, skim milk, more sugar, brown sugar, soybean oil, and of course, don't forget the tapioca flour, which by the way, they use for a filler, and it's not even sweet. Now, what's interesting about Ben & Jerry's ice cream is that per serving size, there's 49 grams of carbohydrate. So 49 times 3 equals 147 grams of carbohydrate. And so some of that starch turns into sugar. So what we're really dealing with is about 35 1/4 teaspoons of sugar in the Ben & Jerry's pint of ice cream. So take a look at how much sugar that's in there. All right, let's come up the list to Breyers. 1 serving size is 21 grams of carbs, 18 grams of sugar, but there's 4 serving sizes. So if you multiply 21 times 4, we get 84 grams of carbohydrate. But with this product, we're not just dealing with regular sugar. We're dealing with high fructose corn syrup. This is actually way worse than cane sugar. And on top of that, they're adding seed oils. It's deadly. This is why if you're doing high fat, you must also do low carb. You don't ever want to do high carb and high fat together. Unfortunately, ice cream is usually that scenario. The next type of ice cream we're going to talk about is Breyers vanilla. Okay, just plain vanilla. And it's very interesting because they only have like 4 ingredients: milk, cream, sugar, a certain type of gum, kind of like a thickener, and then natural flavorings. Okay, that's it. So that's obviously a major step up. Okay, but they don't necessarily tell you if it's organic or grass-fed, whatever. Then they have another version of Breyers called Carb Smart. Okay, this is apparently their low-carb version. And then they ruined it with maltitol syrup. It's a type of sweetener that's supposed to not raise your blood sugars that much. Just because something that says it's carb smart or it's low carb or it's keto friendly doesn't necessarily mean it's truly friendly to your blood sugars. Plus, it creates a lot of gastrointestinal problems. And of course, they also add the soluble corn fiber that people are saying are really good for you, but there's no safety studies on them. And then they have something called sucralose, which is a chlorine-based sugar, and it's been known to create some issues with your microbiome. So I would definitely stay away from that one. But if I had the choice between the regular vanilla Breyers with the 5 ingredients and this one, I'd probably go with the regular one. I just would not consume very much. Now let's talk about Haagen-Dazs, okay? This is another one that has like 5 different ingredients. It has cream, skim milk, egg yolk, cane sugar. It has natural flavoring. The amount of cane sugar is 23 grams. So the serving size is 2.5, which puts it only at 14 teaspoons of sugar instead of 34 teaspoons of sugar. Haagen-Dazs has half the sugars that Ben & Jerry's has. Now let's get into the so-called keto-friendly types of ice cream. So the first one I'm going to show you is this right here. It's just keto. I think it's the Keto brand. It says it's keto-friendly. It only has 3 net carbs, and the serving size is 3. There's a total of 16 carbs. But now let's just look at the ingredients. We have cream, water, egg yolk, erythritol, strawberries, and then of course they have the soluble corn fiber as well. And think about this one, it has 10 grams of sugar alcohol for 1/3 of this. So if you were to consume this whole thing, that's 30 grams of sugar alcohol. That's going to create digestive issues. I'm glad that they don't add other types of sugar in here. So I think they ruined it with all these synthetic fibers, honestly. But again, if we're comparing it to Ben & Jerry's, it's a step up. I just have to tell you a quick story. I decided at one time, several years ago, to create a keto-friendly ice cream. And I wanted to use coconut oil as our fat, and I used the best ingredients, and we went back and forth to create the best texture. It's a big problem to solve. I remember going to the manufacturing company to do the first run, and I ordered the wrong coconut oil. It was a disaster. Finally got it done, and we created this amazing ice cream. It was literally the best ice cream I've ever had. Here's the problem. Ice cream is frozen. It's vulnerable to heat. All of the air that kept it fluffy went away, and like the ice cream was like down 1/3 right here. We literally put 20,000 units into the dumpster. So that was my adventure into the land of making ice cream. All right, now let's talk about Rebel. Rebel has 0 grams of sugar per pint. So what's in Rebel? Cream, erythritol, egg yolk, chicory root fiber, milk, protein isolate, carob gum, and monk fruit. Now, those aren't bad ingredients, so this would be fine to consume. Now let's get into this one called Simple Truth. But this is not even ice cream though. This is frozen dairy dessert. And the reason they have to call it a frozen dairy dessert is because it doesn't contain at least 10% of the milk fat. Look at these ingredients. The first one is inulin. Anytime you have anything as the first ingredient, that's like the majority of the product, which is automatically going to raise red flags to digestive problems. And then they get into allulose, which I do like allulose as a sweetener. Then maltitol. You want to stay away from that one. That's going to just create bloating and gut pain. Then it has erythritol. Then it has milk protein concentrate, coconut oil, gar gum, monk fruit, and stevia. This has 28 grams of carbohydrate. It has 8 grams of fiber. That's 30% of this is fiber. But check this out. The sugar alcohols come to 13 grams times 3 as the serving size equals 39 grams of sugar alcohol. You do not want to consume this whole thing in one sitting because you're going to be on the toilet, okay? So as you can see, there's different levels of badness with ice cream. And you cannot trust just something that says keto friendly, carb smart. You have to read the ingredients. I mentioned a couple that were okay, but I think the best thing is to make your own. There's 2 different versions of this, okay? You have the version for the person who really wants to be low carb and they want to be truly keto friendly. That recipe would be heavy cream, egg yolks, allulose, a pinch of sea salt, vanilla flavoring. You can also add other things too, like pecans or walnuts. Blend it up, and then you put it in the freezer for 4 to 5 hours, and you take it out, and you got your ice cream. Okay, so that's one version. There's another version I want to mention. That would be involving organic cream, 2 egg yolks, add the honey in there, a little pinch of sea salt, pure vanilla, and either put it in the ice cream maker or put it in the blender. And then you have more control of what's in your ingredients, and you can have this on a special occasion. So go ahead and try out the recipes. Tell me what you think, and I will see you in the next video.